The Taylor 100 series is expanding with a new body shape. Finally, we're going to tell you about the grand concert that joins the rest of the 100 series lineup and other changes, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, you like our videos, and if you want to support the two of us and everyone else that helps make this possible, make sure you check out our spring store link below for custom swag and check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts, and buy stuff from us on our website, like this, the new
112ce-S.
The 112, you know, I wonder, it's been forever since they did the 100 series.
Yeah.
I think it was over 13 years ago. I want to say it was around 2010 or something like that.
Yeah.
People that are online can check me on that. And it's been a smashing success. It was really a huge growth of what Taylor offered in different price points. They're great guitars, but it seems like they've had a hole in that lineup for a long time, primarily just Dreadnoughts and Grand Auditorium. So excited to see the grand concert come around.
Yeah, and so also on top of that, I mean, so we got the grand concert. We've had the 12-string Dreadnought, the 6-string Dreadnought, the 114 Grand Auditorium, but they've recently all been walnut.
Yeah.
And we've got a return to the Sapele right here. And a new body shape for the series, but with kind of old wood parent.
What's old is new again.
What's old is new again.
What's new is new again.
Sapele is the new walnut. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, Taylor kind of offered these, the 114, the 110, and now the 112 with the Sapele, laminate Sapele back and sides, or layered, should I say.
Layered, you should say.
I should say.
Some people at Taylor might say you should say that. Yeah,
yeah, I should say that because we were talking about it earlier today. Not all laminate is created equal.
Right. Some of it's not even wood.
Some of it's not even wood.
So
HBO. But
is that like a Joe Biden? Get quiet to emphasize the point.
3 layers.
Three layers of wood.
3 layers of wood,
Sapele,
and that's what you got.
Sapele.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we were having an interesting talk with some other people today about why some people prefer laminate or layered wood, and I think that's worth it for another video. But for now, 100 series now has 112 in it, and I think that 200 series doesn't.
It doesn't so far. Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they all do. But yeah,
you just leaked that new 10 model.
I leaked the new 10.
Yeah, 10
it's an ultra jumbo.
Series.
It's 2 guitars stacked. But yeah, so grand concert, popular all throughout the USA-made lines. I'm interested to see if we'll see a 212 or a 222 or anything like that. But I think at the price point, a lot of times 100 series are purchased by people who are just getting into guitar, or want something a little less expensive to be able to travel with or take on the road, whatever. And a lot of those people probably would prefer a little bit smaller body.
I think so, particularly if it's younger people who are playing. I think petite people. I think a lot of ladies who are getting into guitar that want a Taylor will probably appreciate this. The benefit of the grand concert is it's a small body guitar. It's got a shorter scale length. It's a little easier to play. And up until this point, if you wanted something that was smaller than a 114 CE or 110, which let's face it, a 114 CE has a tighter waist, but they're effectively the same size guitar. The only other option was a GS Mini or an Academy series, which what we sold the most of in the Academy series was the grand concert. So the minute you wanted to step up from a GS Mini or from an Academy to a larger or to a higher line guitar, then that offer went away. Or if you wanted a cutaway, then you just didn't have that option in that smaller size. So I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of players out there who have been looking at that price, they now have a very compelling option with cutaway, the scale length, the body shape, all of that stuff.
So tell me this. Do you think, first of all, are the Sapele back and sides, are those standard additions to the line, or is that a limited thing? And I ask because we kind of got a limited allocation to pick from, but then we were told that we're going to be able to order more in the future. And, so I know we got a handful of these. They probably won't be the last ones we see. However, I would not be surprised if the Sapele was kind of a limited thing, but then they gave us the walnut version. Also, going back to what you said, ES2 instead of ESB.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Here's basically how it works. I think it's probably a limited thing based upon supply, not based upon it being limited.
Yeah.
The reason it's probably a thing is because of supply. So, when it comes to dealing with layered back and sides, Taylor is able to stretch wood by using these very thin veneers with poplar, sandwiching them together, creating these very stable back and side guitars, and providing some variation. Some people will say that they can hear a difference between the layered back and sides. Other people say they can't. Bob Taylor says he can't. The way a guitar works and the way the structure of a layered guitar strengthens and stiffens those pieces, one would probably say, no, it's probably not doing a whole lot for sound. So what that means is that it's primarily a visual thing that's going to come about based upon the woods that are available at the time. So I think Sapele is around because walnut is probably less available right now.
Yeah.
And what Taylor has been really good at is changing it up over time. So we'll probably see Sapele for a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a return of walnut. We should keep in mind that there was rosewood at one point. That went away to walnut because of Sidey's stuff, which has now gone back. So maybe there'll be variations and to give us aesthetic differences. I have an old, baby Taylor with a spruce top and layered koa back and sides that was part of a limited run 23 years ago to give you that visual difference. And I love that guitar. And so, that's probably what we'll see.
And not to mention, this also sees the reintroduction of the GS Mini with Sapele back and sides, the OG GS.
The OG GS.
The OG.
Isn't that the one you have?
Yes, it is the first one. I have a walnut one too, but my mom now has the Sapele one, which I like. I just think it's cool and it looks. To me, it's like
primarily looks like mahogany.
The old school one.
So.
But I just think for the reason of giving people in this price range a new option, it's a no-brainer.
I think the other reason they've done this is they did this thing with the Academy series, which we've covered, where they introduced walnut there with a top of walnut, which is very cool. And so there's a visual distinction here. So I think all of that aside, that's just how guitar manufacturing works. This is a very cool guitar. You shouldn't wait till whatever series is. I mean, like Sean Connery, never say never again. But, there'll be changes in the future. But right now, I'm excited to have this in the present.
I just think no matter what, we're going to have a 112, regardless of the back and sides. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah. I played a little bit on this, a little strumming and a little finger picking, because at the end of the day, a grand concert, I think shines. I think we both agree that with finger picking, it's really nice sound. But it's not like the thing where it's going to crap out on you with a heavy strum. You still get a ton of volume out of it. It's just a little more comfortable to play and a little bit of different sound. So let's take a listen.
All right, so there you have it. It's the 112ce, which currently is limited or listed as limited edition. I think it's going to be around. That's my hope, certainly. But don't plan for that, and never say never again. Going back to what you were saying right before we went to the demo, the great thing about these is that they are very responsive, and I think for players of all varieties, it does two things. One, if you don't need a big acoustic sound, and you play with a light touch, then you can play one of these guitars and have a ton of sound. In fact, this is louder than a dreadnought if played with a light touch, because there's just less mass to move, and so they can be very loud instruments. It also responds really well to like fingerstyle stuff because there's less mass to move. So if you play delicately or you just play in a more relaxed way like I do, these guitars really shine. The other benefit of them is you're plugging this in.
Yeah.
I want to emphasize, because I think sometimes we forget, the reason for bigger bodied guitars in the past was to get more acoustic volume. And if you're plugging in, you have no need for that unless you just want it at home. And so what I'm seeing more and more of is people on stage playing guitars that are increasingly smaller bodied guitars because it's amplified. And they have a really nice feel.
Yeah.
And you don't have to really wail on them, and you get all the volume that you want. You just turn it up.
Yeah.
And this, we should say, right, basically the same pickup and preamp that you're going to get on a very expensive guitar.
On any custom shop Taylor that you ever order from the factory, unless you change it to something else, the same pickup for every American-made Taylor guitar.
Yeah, and hats off to Taylor for being a manufacturer who is going to build their own pickup and come up with something that's really a solid pickup.
Yeah.
So.
And for the quick bullet points, this is a solid top with layered back, ebony fingerboard and bridge, ES2 pickup, cutaway, and made in North America.
Comes with a gig bag.
Comes with a gig bag, and it's $7.99.
Yep.
And there's a lot of different guitars that have the same exact kind of
By the way,
outline.
We should clarify. Someone argued once with us in comments because I said something was made in North America. And they go, no, it's not. It's made in Mexico. Right.
Correct. But yeah, $7.99 is not a crazy price point for something with very similar specs that's coming from China, Indonesia, or Korea, anything like that. So, yeah, this is definitely good value. And if you're just getting into guitars and you want yourself a Taylor and you've always wanted a grand concert, you finally got the option to get something pretty nicely under $1,000 that
feels really good.
Gets all the stuff that you're going to get from a 200 series, or it's a nice value.
So if you want to make this your own, go to our website, which is alamomusic.com.
You usually let me.
Yeah, but you were just talking, so I figured I'd take it this time.
fair.
And you can check out this guitar. You can check the other stuff out from Taylor and the 100 series, and even other manufacturers. You can chat with someone. And here's the thing: if you don't know what you need, because there's a ton of options, we get that. Chat with us and let us help you kind of narrow down those needs to the right guitar to suit your needs. I think a lot of people maybe go, oh, I need a big guitar, and we can have a conversation. Go, no, what would suit you best? Or you could say, I'm looking at this. Will this work? Here's what I do. And we go, you should get this instead. Yeah, that's what we're here for. So take advantage.
Take advantage, and if you're watching this before August 14th of 2023, the GS Mini that I mentioned, that is Sapele back and sides, is $199 with the purchase of a 200 series deluxe or higher. I'm just putting that out there because maybe you don't know, but it's a good time to get a GS Mini, good time to get any Taylor.
Yeah, good time to buy a Taylor and get a free travel guitar. Or not free, free-ish.
Cheap as free.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, you like our videos, and you keep coming back for more, because we're going to be here regardless. See you next time.